Hey guys, it's Simeon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 19th of August 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on NXT on the USA Network. I almost said NXT TakeOver because I'm reading right here where it says, I wrote down NXT tonight was the go-home show for TakeOver. So I almost said NXT TakeOver, but tonight wasn't TakeOver. TakeOver comes in a couple of days. This Saturday, we'll be doing TakeOver predictions at the end of this review. But we got to talk about tonight's NXT first. Remember, there was no AEW Dynamite. You could have went over to the AEW YouTube channel and watched part one of last year's All Out event. Last I had checked, I want to say an hour ago-ish, there was about 9,000 people watching. So I don't know how many people they peaked at or anything, but if they were trying to counter-program NXT, I don't think they did it with 9,000 people. Now, it's more, the end total is going to be more than 9,000, but while you're live or doing a YouTube premiere, it's only going to show you how many people are live at that exact moment that you look. So when it's all said and done, they could do, I don't know, 50,000 viewers by the end of it. I mean, we can go check really quick right now. AEW. Yeah, see. So by the end, when it's over, they did a 2-hour stream. It's at 40,000 viewers. So they did 40,000 viewers while it was live. But that's a lot. That's a lot of people going in and cutting right back out. Because the peak that I saw, like I stated, the peak that I saw at one time was only 9,200, 9,300, something around there was the peak that I saw at one time. So we'll have to see if that affects NXT, which I highly, highly doubt. Again, like I stated, 40,000 people watched the AEW All Out deal. But that's a lot of, like I said, I'm beating a dead horse here. A lot of people going in and out probably. Because there wasn't 40,000 people at one time. But we're here to talk about NXT. Before we do so, got a little housekeeping to get to. If you guys want to support us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, you can do so a couple of different ways. You can either donate some bits or you could subscribe. Subscribing is probably the best way you could support us here on Twitch. And you can subscribe for free if you have Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, then you have Twitch Prime. And if you have Twitch Prime, then you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel that you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you gave that subscription to us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We would highly appreciate that. But with that, we got NXT to talk about. And NXT did not skip, or what's the word I'm looking for? Did not skimp on getting right into action tonight. They did the normal WWE intro, no NXT show intro, just boom, straight to Johnny Gargano coming out to the ring. Like they did the WWE logo intro or whatever, however it is, and then they were straight into action. Again, like I stated, they didn't do any of the NXT intro video like we see on Raw and SmackDown and usually on NXT. Excuse me. The show kicks off with a North American Championship ladder match qualifier for TakeOver. Excuse me, all of a sudden got hiccups. This match saw Johnny Gargano taking on Ridge Holland. Candice LeRae was at ringside with Johnny Gargano. Jimmy Too Sweet in the chat says, TakeOver only has 4 main card matches. Do you think they add one more? Yes. I am 99% sure they're going to add Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. I mean, why else have Timothy Thatcher screw Finn Balor tonight? Fix my camera here. So this match actually had to be done, well, refilmed partway through, I assume. I don't know exactly. So we saw this match, and there's a spot where Johnny Gargano gets dumped on his head. Well, apparently, they had started the match. Apparently, that was the second time that had happened. The rumor and report going around is that they started filming this match, and they did that spot, and Gargano was really dumped on his head, like hard, and had to be, given a timeout. They then reportedly restarted the match, and that is what we got tonight, is the restarted match. So anything that was filmed before Johnny got quote-unquote hurt last week, we didn't see, since, or at least I don't think we saw, since they restarted the match. Like, they didn't just say, all right, where'd you leave off? They went straight back to the start. So Gargano at first was no match for Holland. They played it up like Ridge Holland is the biggest, baddest guy in NXT. They said he looks like an action figure and he's got muscles in places that you don't even know you had places. Gargano would try to cut him off and Holland would mow him down. Gargano eventually targeted an arm, but Holland kept pummeling him. Gargano shifted his focus on targeting a leg. That took Holland off of his feet. They built towards Gargano flying through the ropes with a tope. The show cut to picture-in-picture commercial break. Gargano with some heat. During the break, Holland fought back plenty, but Gargano went back on the injured leg attack. There was a scary moment, like I stated, where Gargano got dumped on his head. I don't know why they would have done that move twice. I believe that's the move where Gargano got hurt, where he got dumped on his head, and then he got bumped on his head again. Like, it's weird. Gargano looked like he was spiked headfirst into the mat, and the announcers played it up like Gargano may have been hurt there. Gargano turned it into a spot of him playing possum, making Holland think that he really was hurt, so Holland let his guard down. Holland walked right into a super kick, though. Holland was back on the attack in no time. He held Gargano in front face lock, and then turned it into a giant swing. Holland with the power slam got a near fall. Holland was back on the attack. He kept clubbing Gargano. Gargano somehow fought back, though. Holland was a beast through most of this match. He seemingly could not be stopped, even though Gargano needed a distraction. Gargano kept the referee busy as Candice LeRae actually hooked the leg of Holland and slammed it onto the apron. That allowed Gargano to kick the middle rope, giving Holland a low blow. Gargano then slingshot DDT'd the one final beat into the ring, pinned Ridge Holland, and advanced into the match at TakeOver. So Johnny Gargano, oh my, I won't stop watering. Johnny Gargano will be in the ladder match this Saturday night at TakeOver for the vacant NXT North American Championship. So next up, we had Dakota Kai in action. Dakota Kai took on Jessi Kamea. Kai was super aggressive as soon as this match began. Kamea started a comeback after an O'Connor roll. We only got a 2 off of that pinning attempt. Kamea then hit a power bomb of sorts, kinda. Got a 2 off of it. Kai then cut off Kamea soon thereafter, and she delivered a GTS to score the pinfall, or GTK, go to kick, as she calls it. Kai then cut a promo after the match, where she threatened the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai ahead of their title match this Saturday at TakeOver. This then brought out the Women's Champion Io Shirai, who stormed down to the ring and the two began to brawl. The two brawled around ringside and brawled up towards the ramp and stage area. As they were doing so, Raquel Gonzalez would emerge from behind a curtain and laid out the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai with a high kick. Gonzalez then carried Shirai back down to the ring. Shirai tried to fire up on Kai, but Gonzalez hit her from behind with a clothesline before she really could do anything. This dastardly heels left Shirai laying as the champ looked at her opponent for TakeOver on Sunday, who was standing at the top of the ramp with her, I guess you could say, insurance policy, Raquel Gonzalez. That was a question that I had, and others had asked me as well. Where's Raquel Gonzalez been? Why haven't we seen Raquel? Is she going to be there with Dakota at TakeOver? And now the question is answered with a yes. Since Saturday says, what happened to I can beat the champ on my own type with Dakota? Yeah, she can't. And here's my thing, and I'll get more into this when we do predictions later. I was predicting Dakota to win. That was who I was thinking. But now that she's got Raquel, I almost think that that's going to be her detriment, that she's going to rely on Raquel. Io's going to realize it, and Io's still going to, I don't know. I'm thinking in my head as we go through, because I think my prediction may have changed. So Finn Balor, no, skipped a spot. Tegan Nox addressed Candice LeRae and what Candice said last week. Basically, she said that when friendships fall, it's usually Tegan's fault, and Tegan doesn't understand why people think that. LeRae had buried her. She said, LeRae had buried me and our friendship. Nox said that she wanted to settle this and settle their differences and talk it out. Tells me we're going to get Candice LeRae versus Tegan Nox here soon, if not as soon as Saturday, because they've only got 4 matches announced. I think they're going to announce a 5th, and usually they have 6 matches at TakeOver. So we got a Finn Balor vignette where he cut a promo on the Velveteen Dream. Basically said the last time we were supposed to fight, it didn't happen, and now I'm going to take you out and advance tonight. We got 6-man tag team action. It was El Legado del Fantasma. Yeah, it's Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza taking on Breezango, Tyler Breeze and Fandango, and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Because you can't say his name without saying Isaiah Swerve Scott. So the trio, the heel trio, began with some dastardly moves. The dust settled, and they were taking on Fandango. They were triple teaming him at one point. Fandango countered a flying axe handle and cut off Wilde. The fight then spilled to the outside, and everyone got involved. The babyfaces stood tall as the show cut to commercial. No split screen this time. Fandango was running wild when we came back from the break, but he crashed outside of the ring after being shoved off the top rope. The heel trio got the heat on Fandango as they separated him from his corner. A lot of beating the crap out of Fandango tonight. Finally, at one point, Isaiah Swerve Scott got the hot tag and ran wild on the heel trio. Swerve flew around, cleaning house. He went to leap off the top, but Escobar caught him with a knee strike in midair. Breeze was in his corner trying to tag when Wilde hit a missile drop kick and sent Swerve crashing into Breeze. This knocked Breeze off the apron, and for some reason, the referee called that a tag. He said, you've got, so, pretend my microphone are the ropes. Here is Breeze. Here is Swerve. Swerve gets drop kicked into the ropes, into Breeze. Breeze falls down. Breeze is all of a sudden the legal man. It's not like, and correct me if I missed this, it's not like Breeze fell back and as he was falling back, tagged to the back of a Swerve. Now, correct me if I missed that, but I didn't see that happen. So I don't understand why the referee was all of a sudden just like, you're not the legal man, Swerve. Get out the ring. No, that made no sense. Swerve planted Escobar with the modified Michinoku driver. And that's when the referee started yelling at him because he tried to go for the pin. The ref would not count, insisting, hey, you're not the legal man. Stereo drop kicks then took out Swerve. Breeze rolled into the ring and he went wild on the heels like a 1980s babyface. Boom up. He rocked them and socked them and rolled them with a bunch of punches. They bumped and fed for Breeze, and Breeze looked phenomenal here. But then, well, Escobar cut him off and executed his phantom driver to cover Breeze and pick up the victory. So with that, the Cruiserweight Champion does pick up the victory here. Vic Joseph on commentary tried saying that the babyfaces lost on a technicality. No, it's on a what the fuck happened. That ain't no technicality. That's a what kind of booking is that of your stupid ass referee? When was I bumped into the ropes, which knocked my opponent over, which technically bumped into him, is a tag? When has that ever been a freaking tag? It made no sense. Not a technicality. It's called you got beat. Because the ref's dumb. It's just stupid. We see Pat McAfee arrive at the building. He's got some other football players and whatnot with him. Pat McAfee showed up in a SUV with an entourage. They were all dressed in black, and my first thought was retribution. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't think about that. Well, I did, but I didn't think about it seriously. Adam Cole came down to the ring with Undisputed Era, and he said, Pat McAfee, where are you? Pat, let's do this. And Pat McAfee doesn't come out the normal entrance, but he comes out some side entrance, in through some side entrance where I guess the fans usually pour in from. McAfee came down with his squad. Cole had the Undisputed Era. McAfee basically said, I thought you said you couldn't do stuff alone, but you're here again with your goons, with your guys, your henchmen, backing you up. So Cole said, hey, guys, out. McAfee sent his guys out as well. And then Pat McAfee went on to cut just a phenomenal promo. Pat McAfee is a hell of a promo worker. Tremendous talker. McAfee stated that in 7 different professions, he's won $1 million. I don't know the context of that, so I don't know what that's really supposed to mean. Like, has he done 7 different types of jobs and every time made at least $1 million? That I don't know because I don't understand the reference. But he said that on Sunday, everyone's going to see how great he is in the ring, and then he's going to make this his 8th profession that he wins $1 million in, or earns $1 million in. He said that he vows to defeat Cole at TakeOver, and he said desperate, and he said despite only having 2 weeks to train, he's going to be better than Cole ever has been. McAfee said that he is next level compared to Cole. He also taunted Cole with a boom catchphrase because he said, when people see me win, they're just going to say boom. So Cole sat back and just let him speak. And I thought this was great for Adam Cole to just be like, big man, what do you got to say? Cole didn't try to cut him off. Cole didn't try to like mean mug him or smirk or smile or laugh at his talk. No, Cole just was out there like a professional and let him go. Cole then took a few steps towards Pat McAfee before, for some reason, security poured into the ring. Cole didn't like this, and he wiped out the security geeks. He also took one out with a super kick, basically making him the new Stone Cold, because Stone Cold, you just take out security with a stunner. Well, he's got him with a super kick. He then went face-to-face with McAfee. Football players jumped on the apron to back up McAfee. Undisputed Era got into the ring to flank Cole. I thought this was really, really good. Cole calmingly was in McAfee's face, and Cole said that he was going to make McAfee his bitch. Cole and his stable then exited the scene. I thought this was a perfect go-home segment. I don't know if this could have been done any better because I didn't want to see the two touch, and they didn't touch. They got as close as you can without touching. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Next up, we had tag team action. Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah taking on the team of Rhea Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart. So early on in the match, Blackheart got the advantage before it shifted during a commercial break. The Heels were in control when the show returned from the break. They were getting the heat on Blackheart as they proverbially cut her off on their side of the ring. Quick tags from the Heels. They kept punishing Blackheart. Blackheart then planted Martinez with a DDT. That created separation and for her to get the hot tag to Rhea Ripley. Ripley was a house of fire as she jumped in the ring and was just going wild. Martinez had to jump in and break up a pinning attempt at one point. Blackheart was there to meet Martinez with a kick. Blackheart climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Martinez tripped her as Robert Stone distracted the ref. Ripley then made a save as she hip-tossed Martinez into the ring. Ripley, a moment later, posted herself. Martinez went to capitalize, but Ripley with a counter. Ripley would then powerbomb Martinez over the barricade, seemingly on the concrete on the other side of the barricade, but we couldn't see her actually hitting the concrete, so we know what that was. And I lost my spot. Do you guys ever have it where you're reading something in Google Chrome, because I use Google Docs for all my Word documents and writing stuff up, and it just wants to refresh on you out of nowhere? Because that's what just happened to me, and I lost my spot. Give me 2 seconds. Damn thing just refreshed on me. Like the Twitter timeline. You're reading something on Twitter, and all of a sudden, it's gone. Because you're back at the top and you didn't click anything. Here we go. As Rhea Ripley powerbombed Martinez, Blackheart leapt off the top to deliver a senton on Aaliyah. Blackheart then covered Aaliyah to pick up the victory for her team. They stated on commentary that with this victory, Rhea Ripley should have put the Robert Stone brand in her past. And I hope so, because they've said that before, and he's dealing with the damn Robert Stone geek. I don't want to call them all geeks. Robert Stone and Aaliyah, yes, but Mercedes Martinez isn't a geek. So I can't say all them geeks. An awesome video package then played, telling the story of NXT champion Keith Lee and Karrion Kross for their match at TakeOver this Sunday. And an interesting thing, and I may be looking too much into this, at the very end of the video, it said NXT TakeOver, or it just said TakeOver 30. Kross versus Lee. Usually, champ gets first billing. Should have said Lee versus Kross. And also, I'm not saying that was a spoiler for TakeOver, but let me find it here. A spoiler may have been put out by WWE, though. Let's go here. If you see this here, this was posted during NXT. It says, at 20% off, these titles are particularly a steal. Get your favorite championship titles and Karrion Kross and Lady Scarlet tees right now at WWE Shop. And I'm like, okay, cool, but look at the photo. Let me zoom in on this photo if it allows me to. It's not going to allow me to. But Karrion Kross has the NXT Championship over his shoulder. Why would that graphic even be in a WWE database if it wasn't needed? I was already thinking Karrion Kross victorious anyways. But this solidifies my prediction. This shows me that somebody made a boo-boo and may have spoiled the main event for Saturday's TakeOver. Whoops, sorry about that. Back to some NXT talk here. The announcers then announced that we will be having a match on the pre-show for NXT TakeOver. It will be a triple threat tag team match. We will see, where was I? We will see Breezango, El Legado del Fantasma, and the team of Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. The winning team will then become the number one contenders to Imperium, the NXT Tag Team Champions. Then go to our main event. And I don't know who booked this match, but the match itself was good. I just don't know who booked this. Let me rephrase that. I don't know who booked the match. I don't know who booked this damn segment. Because this segment, it ended just horribly. So the match itself between Finn Balor and the Velveteen Dream, I thought was pretty good. Could have been better, but I thought it was as good as it... Actually, no, maybe it couldn't have been much better. I thought it was almost as good as it could have been. So maybe a tick better. Any match can really be a tiny bit better if you really think about it. But in the early moments of this match, Balor had the advantage. Dream powdered outside before a picture-in-picture commercial break. Dream healed on Balor, and he tricked him to turn the tides. Dream hit Balor with repeated punches. Balor was reeling, but he cut off Dream to regain the advantage before the show came back from the break. Dream then hit a Thez press and threw some punches and put up the Too Sweet sign, taunting the former Bullet Club member, or should I say Bullet Club leader. Dream then hollered, "Wolfpack in the house," and then Dream howled into the camera. Balor then fired up with a nice little rally here. Dream took several Kurt Hennig bumps. Balor then grounded Dream as he applied a leg lock. Balor with a bow and arrow submission hold, but Dream got to the ropes to break it. Balor kept working the leg though. Dream fought back after connecting with a leg lariat. Dream tried to do the 10 punches in the corner. Nobody counted along for him, which is kind of funny. He got upset about it because no one was counting. He then proceeded to miss a kick, and he tied himself up in the corner. Balor chopped him down for size. 2 size. Dream then came back with a springboard into a flying axe handle. Dream fell outside of the ring. He became mesmerized, laying under the NXT North American Championship. Cameron Grimes would then come down and say, hey, that's my belt. I'm going to win that belt. He was running his mouth, causing a little bit of distraction, but not enough of a distraction because the show went on. We had our final commercial break, and when we came back, Grimes was sitting on one of the ladders. Grimes at one point was seen holding the North American title. Balor began a comeback here. He exploded into a dropkick. Dream was briefly tied up in a tree of woe. Dream then did a Harley Race flip bump onto the floor. Grimes was still on the ladder and still talking crap. Balor climbed the ladder to go after Grimes. Why? I have no freaking clue. Idiot. Pay attention to the match you're in. This guy's not in your match. At least not yet. This allowed Dream to drop Balor on the apron as he went for his finisher, but Balor countered him. Balor hit a shotgun dropkick to seemingly set up for his finisher. Grimes, with his loud mouth, distracted Balor. Balor just was all kinds distracted by Cameron Grimes. Dream then gave Balor a superplex. They were both down selling when Johnny Gargano strolled down to the ringside. He pushed the ladder over and Grimes fell into the ring. Grimes bumped the referee and he fell inside the ring. Grimes took a double stomp from Balor and then a famouser from Dream. Gargano then grabbed the North American title and wore it around over his shoulder before Bronson Reed would come down to the ring to try and scare Gargano. Gargano rolled into the ring and backed right into none other than Damian Priest. Gargano did the whole, who's behind me? Who's behind me? Oh, a big guy. I feel your face kind of deal. For he was taken down, and then Bronson Reed jumped in the ring. Bronson Reed tossed out Gargano. He tossed him over the top rope, and Gargano fell to the floor. The referee was still down during all of this melee, and Priest had the title in hand. He threw it to Reed, and he caught it. That was a trick because Priest booted him in the face. Dream would then rock Priest coming off the ropes with a super kick, and Reed, with a Cactus Jack clothesline, took both of them out over the top rope. Dream was pandering around with the title, and I'm like, okay, Dream's going to be unfocused now, and he's going to get beat by Balor, but that's not what happened. Balor clotheslined him over the top rope. Balor ran across the ring and leapt over the top rope, flip dive onto Reed and Gargano. Again, Balor's distracted with these other fuckers. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Timothy Thatcher appears and takes out Finn Balor. He rolled Finn Balor into the ring. Dream hit him with a Dream Valley driver, flying elbow, and pinned him. Velveteen Dream pinned Finn Balor to advance into the ladder match at TakeOver for the North American title. Timothy Thatcher leaves, and Dream, as I stated, advances. What? Dream advances in the ladder match, not Finn Balor. Are you freaking kidding me? I wholeheartedly think we're going to get Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher now. But again, what? The first 3/4 of this match was good. Then when everybody had to come down and cause distractions and brawl and this and that and blah, 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 it just broke it down into utter garbage, shit, crap, chaos. And not good chaos, bad chaos. I don't even know what to say about it other than I didn't like the end. And not just because Finn didn't win. I didn't like everybody having to come down and get their little spot in. I thought that was dumb. But that was TakeOver. No. TakeOver until Saturday. That was NXT. NXT on the USA Network. But speaking of TakeOver, we're going to do our predictions for NXT TakeOver this coming Saturday. Also, guys, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. The number has been scrolling across the bottom of the screen right there periodically throughout this show. We'll get to those text messages. But first, let's talk about TakeOver and our predictions. My predictions for that show. We've got 5 matches technically announced so far, counting the pre-show. And on said pre-show, as I stated earlier, we've got a triple threat tag team match. It's Breezango, Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, and Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. Winners get an NXT title match, NXT tag team title match. They did not state when that title match will be taking place. But if I had to pick who I think should get a shot at the tag titles, who I think is going to come out victorious here, it's a tough one. I don't know why, but as soon as this match was announced, the first names that I thought of were for winning were Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, and they just keep sticking in my head for some reason. So I'm going to go Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Next up, we've got the Adam Cole, Pat McAfee match. Another one that's hard to predict. Like I said, that tag team match, hard to predict because you don't know where they're going with that because they don't really build their tag team divisions up with storylines and whatnot like that. But as far as this one, Adam Cole, Pat McAfee, I'm at a loss here. I have no clue. I honestly could see them doing Pat McAfee, especially after Triple H this morning said that he doesn't think this is a one-time thing for Pat McAfee. So why have Pat McAfee lose? But I can also see them going Adam Cole. But because of Triple H's comments this morning on the NXT conference call, I'm going to have to go Pat McAfee. Because why else was Triple H want to let everybody know, hey, Pat's going to be wrestling on Sunday, but it's not a one-time thing. This is not looked at as a one-time thing for him in WWE. He went on to say how Pat McAfee has been a longtime fan of WWE, and before he met Pat, didn't realize how much of a fan Pat was before he became a professional NFL player, or a professional football player. So I'm going to have to go Pat McAfee. I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. Next up with the NXT Women's Championship on the line, Io Shirai against Dakota Kai. Now, when this match was first announced, I was all Dakota Kai. And now that she's got Raquel Gonzalez in her corner, I don't know if I could say that anymore. Because Dakota Kai's whole thing was, I can do it myself. I can defeat Io. I don't need any help. But all of a sudden, Raquel's there. I think Raquel's going to be her detriment, and I could be wrong here, and I should go with my gut and say Dakota, but I'm going to go Io retaining the title. Next up, we got a 5-way ladder match to crown the vacant NXT North American Champion. We got Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and the Velveteen Dream. With that, as far as who I think is going to walk out victorious, I'm going to have to go Damian Priest. I'm going to say Damian Priest is going to be the next North American champion. And there's 2 reasons why I think that. A, Triple H really likes him. I've been told that Triple H really, really likes Damian Priest. And after he got over big in the Finn Balor match as a heel, so they made him a babyface like quickly, that's another sign that they like him. But I think they need this champion to be a babyface because the NXT champion is going to become a heel. And that moves on to our main event. Keith Lee defending the NXT championship against Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross wins it. You can't beat him. I know everyone's going to bitch and moan and say, Keith Lee in his first defense is going to lose the title. No, I don't care. I don't want him to lose either. I don't want either man to lose. But if you have to pick somebody as the future of NXT that can go apeshit crazy as the champion, just killing guys, you're going to go Karrion Kross. I think it's too soon for him to even have this title match. Or if they're going to go with it, they got to go all the way. It's got to be Karrion Kross. Then you can move Keith Lee up to the main roster in October or whenever they do the draft. Bada bing, bada boom, there you go. You can even do Karrion Kross wins. Keith Lee asks for a rematch, gets beat again, and then comes up to the main roster. But I'm going to have to go Karrion Kross. And those are my predictions for NXT TakeOver this weekend. Jawanzaz, I hope I said that right, says, is there going to be a Cruiserweight title match at TakeOver? No clue, because, well, they haven't announced it. They've been teasing that Swerve may challenge for the Cruiserweight title, but it has yet to be announced unless it's been announced since we went live here. I can double check, but I don't think it's been announced. Let's see. Nope. Nothing has been announced regarding a Cruiserweight title match at TakeOver. So as of right now, we've only got 5 matches, counting the pre-show match. With that, remember, guys, if you want to be part of the show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. Got some text messages here that I'm going to read. Let's see. This first one says, is NXT going to be part of the Thunderdome? No. Thunderdome was only Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views. From everything I've been told, yeah. From everything I've been told, I'm trying to think back, because I heard one thing, and then they came back and changed it on me, the person that told me this. NXT should be staying at Full Sail. Because at first, I was told, hey, they may move NXT to the Performance Center. Then that person came back to me and goes, never mind, I'm wrong. They're staying in Full Sail. Person says, are you going to compare NXT TakeOver to AEW on your review on Saturday? No. No. Why would I review a pay-per-view and a regular show? TakeOver getting his own review. Maybe we do the AEW review Sunday morning, but I am not doing a NXT TakeOver / Dynamite review. That would just be dumb. And I'm not calling the texter dumb, but I'm just saying that would kind of be redundant to do something like that, because I'm not gonna do an all out review and then NXT on the same night. You know, if for some reason NXT got moved to a Saturday, if you know what I'm saying, that I don't know, but no, we're only going to review TakeOver on Saturday night, because I'm not even going to be able to watch. Here's the thing. If we were to do that, just hypothetically, you wouldn't get that damn review till late, because by the time TakeOver's over, depending on when that basketball game ends, if that basketball game before AEW goes long, then it may be hours before we say it goes into overtime, an extra 15, 20 minutes. Then that's an extra 15, 20 minutes. We got to wait to watch AEW. AEW is supposed to go up against the second hour of TakeOver. So you'd have to watch TakeOver, then go watch AEW, and if that show started late, then it's going to end late. So then, yeah, it would be too late anyways to do both, unless you guys want a very late review. But no, we're just going to do the one, just NXT TakeOver on Saturday night. Person says, do you still think Priest is winning? That's what I just said. Priest winning. And Dream winning tonight. Do you think the rumors of him having heat backstage are false? I haven't heard that. I don't know if anybody had reported that or where you read that there's heat on Velveteen Dream. I haven't heard that, and I haven't reported that. Person says, why would they have Dream win if they didn't know that his legal case was over and didn't mean anything? What? That makes no sense. There's no legal case against Velveteen Dream. There were accusations made against Dream, and according to Triple H, they investigated and found nothing that proved that he did anything wrong. But as far as I know, there's no legal case against Dream. Nobody's pressed charges on him. So, I don't know. And this person says, I've heard he's getting preferable treatment backstage. Whether he is or not, I haven't heard that. I don't know where you heard that from. But I haven't heard that, and I haven't read that. So, I know they really like him, like, a lot. But we'll see how it goes. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here tonight to talk about tonight's NXT. We will be live again Friday night as SmackDown emanates from the Thunderdome. Yes, we're getting the first Thunderdome show on Friday night during SmackDown. This is going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to see how it all looks and works and plays. And yeah, we got a lot of tricks up their sleeves they're going to show us. So we'll see you guys live on Friday night. I don't know. I keep saying Saturday because I've said it a bunch here. But we'll see you live Friday night for the SmackDown review. Have a good night, guys, and I'll see you next time.